cancel. Cancel. So I just thought I'd come on and just have a conversation for a minute. Um, I literally had the time of my life yesterday, and I know it's geeky. Um, it hinges on obsession, but I'm happy because I'm staring right at it. I got yesterday. Okay, long story short, originally, not originally, where I live. If you guys know my channel, one of my obsessions is lawn care. I've been trying to get my lawn to grow for the last 10 years. I'm your typical guy. I didn't read anything. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I've killed my lawn off about 5 or 10 times, somewhere around there. What I figured I could grow was northern grass, so I could get a green lawn all the way up till June, and then it all dies out. Well, one of my old neighbors came over and he told me, and I remember him saying it. He says, you got Zenith zoysia, and he showed the area. I said, if you could, get that to grow. Hey, morning, Mike. He said, if you could get that to grow, you would have a one heck of a lawn. And I remember looking up zoysia grass and seeing how expensive it was, and I didn't fight the fact that I didn't do any homework. And I should have done my homework, um, and I didn't, knowing that I was surrounded by trees and everything else. I just kept on trying to put the cheaper grass in there, and it just never freaking worked. And it just kept on dying off or thinning out. I think it's about we're on the third year right now. 2 or 3 years back, I finally decided I'm going to start plugging my lawn with zoysia grass. It wasn't growing fast enough. So I started getting into buying distressed sod, which is sod that has been on a pallet way too long, died out, and bringing it back to life. That has been working, but it's just been a slow process. And my front lawn is a combination of, Jesus, a lot. I got on the top part of it Kentucky bluegrass near the street. Um, Zenith zoysia on the right side, Bermuda in the middle, and Zeon zoysia on the left, which is further close to the trees, which is heavily shaded. Um, the sod that I put down 2 years is finally starting to die off in that shaded area. And I remember on my phone, I got this app that tells you what plants is what. And I put it, and I seen some stuff with runners on it, and it looked like crab. It just didn't look like a grass that I could recognize. And in the app, and it told me that it was St. Augustine. And I was like, wait a minute. So there was St. Augustine. I just didn't do my homework. But St. Augustine is the best one for shaded areas. And this is the only area where I could see that it's trying to grow. But it's also a path. It's like a runoff path where when it rains, because it comes down the hill, it erodes away a lot of my topsoil. So I have, I have so many freaking problems, and one of them is erosion. So it's really not getting whatever it needs right there. My whole lawn needs to be aerated, a good aeration, and I finally got, I got two aerators. I've just been scared to use them because I mean, one time the daggone thing almost ran me over. So I just got to make sure I do it and do it when I'm sober. Um, but I've got new spikes from the last auction that I went to that I'm gonna put on the other aerator, and then I'll actually have two workable aerators. I'm gonna put one up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. But I realized because my Xeon is dying off in that area, I need to find something that's going to survive there. And I said, well, I think that the St. Augustine is going to survive. But in Georgia, you can only buy, um, in Georgia, you can only buy St. Augustine by the pallet. And I don't have a big, oh, okay. What'd you do? Get rid of it? But in Georgia, you can only buy St. Augustine by the pallet, and I'm being, I've finally moved into being more and more conservative on my spending, even though I don't want to, but I got to, and that's like $400 or $500 for a pallet. I don't have that. Hey, good morning. I see. So who is that that just came in? No, no. You know what? Hey, Jakes, I run late night, and okay, let's switch up to tell you what's going on. Um, I was supposed to pick up my load at 5 o'clock, and all it is a load of plastic pallets. I thought it might be done. I was 200 miles south of here, and I had to do a 34, which resets my hours so I can drive. I did the 34. I said, well, let me see if it's ready. If not, I'll just wait on it. And I got my 34 at 10, no, 11 o'clock, and started driving. And I got over here in Lakeland around midnight. No, yeah, around midnight, 1 o'clock. Around midnight, 1 o'clock. And the guy was being a dick. He didn't say like, "Hey, we'll park the truck there." Nah, come back at 7. Well, my appointment was at 5. No, come on. They don't load till 7. So you know what? Our yard is 5 miles from there. I said, you know what? Might as well come back here and see if I can reset and do either an 8-2 split or 10 hours to see if I get almost all my hours. If I get almost all my hours back, I can make it home. Right now, if they give me the load right now, I was gonna have to reset later on the day and do it 10 hours. So I might as well just do it now. The sad part about that is I'm gonna get caught in Thanksgiving traffic. So I'm gonna be sitting in traffic all day long. So honestly, I need to go ahead and have all my hours to sit in traffic. My main thing is I need to get the hell out of Florida because that's going to be the rough spot is being in Florida. But I'm not going to sit there and run over there at 7 o'clock and the load not be done. I'm gonna give them a few more hours, and then the load be ready, so I can just go ahead and grab it and go. That's the main thing. I just want to go home. You know what I mean? But back to my other thing. I I need some St. Augustine for that area for the area, and I just can't afford all that. Well, I got 6 pieces of sod at Home Depot for like, I think it was like 6 dollars a piece, and then I used my military discount, so it was about like 25 bucks, somewhere around there, about 25 bucks for it, and that's a whole lot because I'm gonna cut it up in smaller pieces and spread it out in that area, and add some manure, sand, and topsoil. I'm gonna mix them all together and you know set that area up, and I gotta break out the one of my hoses and water it twice a day for the next few weeks until it goes into um, hibernation, because it is a warm weather grass, and it's alive down here in Georgia. You can see it's freshly cut, but I just can't dump it on the spot and not water it, and I'll kill the grass off. So I'm excited about that. That's something that I'm gonna be doing um, tomorrow, and also I'm frying a turkey. I got the wife to marinate. I have her marinating it. Um, she be forgetting. I was in food service for a long time. I can cook. So I was telling her, I need you to do this, this, and this for the turkey because I'm going to fry it. And, well, you're supposed to. I didn't ask all that. I'm telling you what. If you want me to do it, this is what I need you to do. Oh, it's needed, and like the turkey. I told her last week, put it in. I have a special food service bucket. Put the turkey in that and put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw out in the refrigerator. I don't want to do the black way where you put in some water, leave it out all night. I'm not trying to get sick. We had more than enough time. Oh, how was it? I didn't tell you that. I'm look. I got some experience under my belt. I actually was a line chef in a 4-star French restaurant. I, I was a restaurant manager. I was a Navy cook on the submarine. Did a little bit of time at Johnson and Wales before went to Johnson and Wales before it became. I actually went to Johnson and Wales before Johnson and Wales became a university. So that's how old my dumb ass is. But I couldn't afford to stay. That's a whole nother story. To get my degree. But I finally convinced her, dude, just do what I say. Because I have some experience under my belt. That's the problem women have nowadays. And there's nothing against you women, but y'all don't know everything. You don't have to run everything. You don't have to take charge of every damn thing. I just got lazy lately. I'm actually a damn good cook. How do you think I got so big? It ain't from eating nasty food. I promise you. If I look at 2 people and one's skinny and one's fat, and they say, "Oh, these guys are good cooks," I'm looking at the fat guy. There's a reason why he's fat. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason why. He enjoying something. I want to see what he's enjoying. I'm just saying. It's just as simple as that. Um, but I just had a time yesterday because I had walked. I said, you know what? I'm stuck over down here in Fort Pierce, Florida. I said, I'm gonna get out and walk. And I walked and walked. And then I seen on my map app that there's a Home Depot. I said, you know, I ain't been at Home Depot in a minute. And I went, I said, let me walk around home because I'm a Home Depot aficionado. I know my way around Home Depot. Everything that has to do with lawn care, tools, and or DIY pipes, pipe fittings, electrical, um, and everything outside. I know where it's at. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, no, no. I'm. Look. Let me tell you this. I'm a man's man. I got a temper on me. I don't want to fight. I really don't. So I back down. But don't. A lot of times, black women get that confused with you're sassy and you're talking. No, I just don't want the drama. But don't push your luck. Don't push your luck. Nah, it don't work like that, Mike. And I ain't talking crap because I respect her. She respects me, and I will when I buck up. I'll buck up, and we don't want that either. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know, I don't want her bucking up either. So I'm on my business. But back to what I was saying. You know, I walked all the way over there, and I seen because trying to talk about this dang grass. St. Augustine, I seen that. I'm like, you can't find seed, but you can get plugs. So I seen the plugs, they were half dead, half of it was yellow. How you look, really? Ain't nobody been in this truck for God knows the funk alone. Um, but I was looking at the plugs, and they were, you know, okay, well, that wide and that tall. There's a few of them, and it was like $8. So I said, well, you know, I could go get that and get two, and I could, you know, put them in the area. And then some said, well, check the every Home Depot has a pallet of sod. I said, check the sod. And I looked over there, double checking. I'm looking, and it said St. Augustine. And I said, excuse me, man, how much is this? And she said, it's like $6 a piece. Oh, brother. It's $6 a piece. I said, oh crap. And I was already, I had already walked 2 miles, but I said I have a like a cart that I use. So if I walk to Walmart or whatever, I go shopping, I have to drag all of the things in. And I came back here, got the cart, and walked back up there. It was a total of 5.5 miles. I think about 5.5 miles to do this. I went and got 6 pieces and dragged it back to the truck. And I had some plastic I put on the passenger seat. So I got a passenger seat full of sod. But I'm gonna be able to. I'm not gonna do small plugs. I'm gonna cut it into maybe strips or something, and spread it out in that area. And I was just so excited about it because again, I am on a budget, and I want to make my lawn look beautiful, but it's just taking so long. But again, I'm on a budget, so that's why I did it. And also, you notice the mount ain't moving. I went to Home Depot and got some crazy glue and glued the little plastic piece on the bottom, so it'll stay there now. So that's that. And I was so excited, and I was laughing walking back. I said, you know what? The only thing would get me to exercise is walking my fat ass over here to Home Depot. Because my wife was like, "Oh yeah, well after we finish Thanksgiving, we're gonna go walking." I said, "I ain't going no damn walking." And then I said, I said in the back of my head, "Boy, you bet your wife wants to go walking, spend time with her. Like I'll tell her tomorrow when I get home. Okay, we'll go walking after Thanksgiving. Who the fuck goes walking after Thanksgiving?" But I'm gonna do the yes dear, like y'all are saying. I don't want no drama. I want her to know I care and everything else. I'd rather waddle around and have another beer, but no, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna get out and walk, because this is really just gonna be me and her and her sister, her brother. And like I said, I'm gonna call Charles today and see when he's gonna get home, because he's stuck out on the road too. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna eat light, then I'm gonna come back and stuff my face. Because I when she say go walking, that means 10,000 steps minimum. I was teasing her, yesterday. I did 11,000, but I had a purpose. I'm dragging grass seed into a truck stop, and people look like, what the hell is he doing? Like, I'm telling you, I've done so many weird things with with lawn, but it makes me feel so. It's like I could say the same thing about you guys that are gardeners. I know y'all get excited when your plant is growing. That's why I can relate. If I could get this stuff to be thick and green, man. And I got an area I wanna do low cut, and that's why I'm fixing my reel. I got two reel mowers. I'm gonna fix both of them. I'm gonna keep one and sell the other. But I got two reel mowers in one area. I want to play with, trying to make it into, low cut lawn, golf stuff. Boy, the 80. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I have a 40-volt electric mower that it normally goes for $500. It normally goes for $500, but I got it for 40 on Facebook Marketplace because a little plastic piece, it's a Ryobi, little plastic piece, snap, because it's supposed to be not what is that, propelled, but it doesn't because that piece is broken. Um, and I finally got the 40-volt for Christmas from my wife. She bought me one because the thing's expensive. But now on TikTok Shop, you can actually get two for one cheaper. So I'm gonna get another big boy for that. So I do an electric mower. I have electric battery power mower, a gas power push mower, my Husqvarna, my John Deere, and then I got my two reel mowers, and then I got my three aerators. Oh, okay. Um, I wanted to. I was looking, but the only place I could find it is over in Europe. I wanted to change the wheels on the back of my Husqvarna driving lawnmower and put tracks on it. and you can buy the tracks in the one that'll fit the mower. They're on sale in Europe, but they won't sell it to anybody in the United States. I don't know why I want tracks, but I was just looking at that. Yeah, the reason I got them early because I'm going to be going to bed soon. Um, I didn't think, as far as I'm feeling it now that I didn't think I was going to get too far once I got the load anyway. So, like I said, I'm gonna reset, get the load, fight through traffic, and see how far I can get, to the house and so forth. Hold on 1 second. Turn that off. Wi-Fi. You know. Oh man. But James is right. What normally happens, I gotta change my sleeping habits so freaking much that my body is confused right now. And I got enough sleep, but it wants to go back to bed. So guess what? I'm gonna go back to bed. You know. I'd rather have too much sleep and not be dead. Well, if you're talking about the tracks, these are specially made for a mower, for the mower, and I've seen it in it. But they have other tracks that you can get, but it would raise the mower, the back of it up, and I wouldn't be able to cut with it, And it's okay. I was just looking at it. I don't know if I could even afford it. I have very expensive tastes and no money to back it up. I have bought and fixed I believe it's 5 real mowers. No, it's 4. I bought and fixed 4 real mowers. Real mowers, for anybody that wants to know, real mowers are the mowers that are used to do lower cuts on your lawn. You just can't. You got to train the lawn, and to own a real mower and be real cutting all the time, you actually have to cut your lawn 2 or 3 times a week, and that's crazy. You need to take some magnesium, bro. You might, some of the stuff in the military has damaged me for life. I can't eat slow. Do you know that? James, I cannot eat slow. And the reason behind that is I remember my first day. I don't know if I told that story, but my first day at boot camp, when we all sat down and, I'm buttering the toast and, I'm putting salt and pepper, sprinkle a little Tabasco sauce on my breakfast. I'm setting up my milk and my juice and everything. And I'm about to eat, and all I hear is, get out, go. And I went without a meal. Oh, hell to the no. That was the last time you gonna do that to me. And I promise you, the next time we made it through that child line, I was eating the food with my hands on line. All the way through the line. I was stuffing my face. And from then on, I just was eating fast. I down it like it's trying to get away from me. And it's like Munchausen syndrome. That's it. They train you to do that. Especially like Army, you train to live off a couple of hours of sleep. They even give certain special ops drugs to keep you zonked out. You know the MREs, they they put stuff in them MREs to plug you up. So you didn't need to you fight the war, but you plug you up so you didn't have to take a poop. Isn't that crazy? I forgot what I was saying. But just try you some what that calamine, chamomile tea, and magnesium glycinate. Well, that stuff will knock you the hell out. I think I take a bigger dose than I'm supposed to. Oh, you sound like I had a guy that they were so scared of on our boat. They would send me to wake him up. He had a mug. The old Navy guys had mugs that they would never clean out the inside of the mug. It was dark brown in the mug, and you had to bring that black coffee and give it to him, and he'd reach out of his bunk and snatch it from you. I remember that. And see, that's why everybody be talking about espresso. Espresso ain't nothing compared to uh, that coffee that they would give you. It was a silver container, about that big, and to shove a French knife in it to cut it open. It was a big old container, that mess. That mess used to crack me the heck up. But it would pour out, when you pour it out of the coffee, yeah, you was one of them. I could always tell when you looked at it and you see they never cleaned out the inside of the cup. Yeah, and you'd have the coffee cup and lumps would come out of it. Freaking lumps would come out of that damn coffee cup. Now that was freaking hilarious. Oh, but you know, it's so funny. I would never change some of the stories. I never regretted my decision, and it's probably why my son isn't talking to me now, because I told him, I'm not talking to my son right now because I finally had enough of the lack of respect that he has shown me, and especially there's only two people in my family that were military, me and my father. And my son came and said, "Dad, I'm going to the Marines." I told him, you're not Marine material. I said, "I'm your father. I'm crazy. And I know I'm not Marine material. The stuff you got to go through." I said, "Why don't you try the Navy or the Air Force?" "Well, I can't swim." I said, "I'll pay for you to learn how to swim." "Oh," as I said, "you're gonna have to learn how to swim in the Marines." "Oh," they said they'll train me. I said, "That's a lie. They're lying to you." And proved my point. He washed out. And I told him, I said, "I told you, but you refuse to listen. You've constantly given me your ass to kiss. And the fact is, I'm your father. I know better. I don't want you to do what I did. I want you to be better." But these kids nowadays, you can't tell them crap. and they want to tell you that you don't know what you're doing and you this and you're that. Okay. I already told y'all I ain't shit. Wasn't gonna be shit. Still ain't shit. Still trying to figure shit out. Plain and simple. Yep. You know, you can't even do 20 and retire now. They've switched it up. I think they got a 401k now. What the hell? Yo, and Jake, did you hear that story? It's in the UCMJ. Remember in boot camp, you had like 15 things you had to memorize. What's Article 1 of the UCMJ? Article 1 is Sergeant. And one of them is following lawful orders. But the dictator, the orange dictator wannabe, has gotten rid of all our experienced generals, all our experienced admirals. That's why these ships are running into each other. And he's trying to tell you, what are you senators telling our military? We're telling you what's already in the UCMJ, stupid. And anybody that's been in the military knows it. You cannot say I was just following orders. That don't work. And see, Trump is trying to edge his way into becoming a dictator and sending the military in against their own people. And he's so stupid that 90% of the freaking military is minorities, and they're not going to fire on their own people. Most of the Army, Navy, Air Force, they come from poor backgrounds. Couldn't survive nowhere else, so they went into the military. They're not going to fire on their own freaking people. They're not going to do it. And these senators are just reminding them, because this is what's going on. We're trying to tell you something. If you believe it's an unlawful order, you're not bound to be following it. Because as far as I know, Border Patrol ain't got no authority past, I think it was like 100 or 150 miles from the border. And these guys are up in Chicago. And I remember it was a guy. He's got the dash cam and the thing, and a guy comes up with the mask on, and he said, "Boy," he was Latino. He said, "Border Patrol, you ain't got no authority." It just took off. And it was laughing. And see, they go. I'm not reporting any violence. You're gonna get with the wrong person. It's gonna light you behind up. Exactly. This is what happens when the dredge society decides. And even I don't know what the words for it is. There's a lot of our brothers, our black people that didn't even want to see a woman. Didn't want to see a woman in authority. All these other countries have women prime ministers, and they're thriving. Do you see what I'm saying? And everybody believes this guy has. How many times has he had
been bankrupt, and you're thinking he's the best bet. How stupid can you be? And he said it. He said, from day one, I'm gonna bring down the price of I'm gonna bring down the price of everything. The president can't do that. That's why. That's why. That is why he's getting rid of the Department of Education. I'm gonna make y'all even more dumb. I'm gonna make you more stupid. I'm gonna get rid of the thought that there's atrocities that happen to blacks. We say everybody else, but look, I'm black first. Yeah, I want to know what happens to my people first. Well, we said, well, the Indians. Well, the Indians had slaves too. Hello, learn about the real history. The Indians had slaves too, and well, I've got some Indian, I've got some Indian in. Yeah, because you want somebody in your family was probably one of their slaves. But we don't want to say that. I got some Indian in me. Look at my hair. It's got a little straight at the end. Stupid. Yeah, nobody cares. We we are the laughing stock of the world. We are the freaking laughing stock of the freaking world. It's a daggone shame. That's why y'all, like y'all said, keep growing your seeds because you might, man, please keep growing your seeds. I'll be honest with you. I think he got with Elon Musk and changed some of them numbers during the election. I really do. I just can't see us being this stupid. Yeah, yeah, I can believe it, man. I really believe it. Um, it's a daggone shame. I'll say that. Yeah, it's a daggone shame. But let's see. I'm gonna be doing when I get home. I'm gonna be doing some burning. I'm gonna burn some of the leaves. I'm gonna mulch some of the leaves. Let's see here. Yep, yep, yep. But hey, Mike, I've been getting on my shorts. Capcom is the app. Capcom. You just change the background, and what I do is I don't keep the music. I go to YouTube and change the music. When I do the YouTube shorts, I change the music, and I've been getting like I went from 30,000 views to like now I'm at like 65, 67,000. So that's what I've been playing around with. I'm trying to do at least two shorts a day, and it's been rising and rising and rising. And now the lives I'm just gonna be doing with the horizontal. I guess which one's horizontal? This way or that way? I think vertical's up and down. Doing the horizontal because I got to start building my hours and either Thanksgiving or try to do like a 10-hour video on Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna hook it up. I'm gonna hook it up to my laptop, and I'm gonna do my 4K camera so I won't overheat. And I'm gonna do like a 10-hour video outside, and because I need to start. If you guys would help a brother out and just watch when you can or whatever, turn it on and walk away. I got to start building my hours back. Oh, okay. But I got to start building my hours back up. I found some music that I kind of like. It's more of a rough cut, country / blues / gospel, and y'all could hear it in the stuff that I found. Yeah, I'm in there's one video I will, and most of it's gonna be me taking apart the the aerator that I bought, and I'm gonna be using those parts and put it on another one. So it's gonna be something, and I'm not just gonna be I'm not gonna be talking much, or will be talking something or whatever, But I gotta start building back, and I gave up for a while, and a few people have sent me messages. Don't give up, keep pushing, and so forth and so on. So I'm gonna get back on track. And figuring it out. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But right now I got 8 hours till I reset. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna reset. Screw it. We'll figure it out. But that's really it. All right, guys. I'm gonna shut down and let's see what it is here. Go to sleep, and I'm probably ain't gonna be up before 6. That probably ain't gonna happen. So that's why I did a video instead of, talk for a minute instead of saying, oh, we'll cancel late night. Sometimes you just got to stay, you got to stay on point or get close to on point, something like that. But you guys know, what's coming up next. Fukumama will be hitting it at 7 o'clock. There's a lot of people waking up. Hey, I looked for you. Yeah, yep, you gone. Yeah, get you some sleep. But try you some magnesium glycinate. Just only take one pill. Don't be like me. I take 3. Knocks me the fuck out. But I know I'm probably pissing the rest of it out because I'm knocking out whatever. Yeah, try to get you some sleep, bro. I know I am. This mattress sucks, so hopefully I can. That's why I want to go home, get my hair bit. My hair bit. But as always, guys, you think nobody loves you. Now I love you. God loves you. Y'all have a blessed rest of your morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Deuces. Get you some sleep, Jags.